Good evening. Good evening. So, this is my first time doing this, y'all. I was just like, you know what? I got something on my mind. I want to talk about it. Really didn't want to do Facebook Live. Wasn't sure if what I'm about to share uh, would be encapsulated within an hour, which is the confines of Instagram Live. So I said, you know what? Let me try YouTube. Let me try YouTube. My setup is straight bootleg. I literally just went in the bathroom and threw a bit of makeup on because I was like, you know what? Maybe I do need to look like somebody on this video, but whatever. Picked out my hair a little bit, threw a couple of bobby pins in it, and said, let's get to it. My setup is hella bootleg, okay? Like, my light is kind of like leaning on my phone because apparently I don't have the parts for this whole setup. But nonetheless, I am here. It is Friday, Feel Good Friday, Fantastic Friday, Friday. For all of those folks out there that are clocking out and are about to live for the weekend. Hey to y'all. For those who have to clock in tomorrow, hey to you too, Just wanted to, jump in tonight and try out this YouTube thing, see how it works, but also share some sentiments and feelings that I have been experiencing lately, and also a situation that I experienced lately. I don't know where this YouTube is going to go, y'all. I am literally just like jumping on and doing this. So, hopefully it will turn out to be something that you guys enjoy. Hopefully at some point in time, I find what it is that I want to use this platform for. And yeah, wish me luck, right? And if you have some ideas, hey, shoot them my way. So, let's get started. So what I want to do first and foremost to kind of set the tone, set the scene for what I'm about to share with you all today is I want to share my background. I want to share my essence, who I am. I'm not going to go too deep, but I'm just going to share a little bit about who I am. And who I am is going to be tied into my purpose, right? Because I feel like my purpose is just, it is what it is. And if you know what your purpose is, then you know that's pretty much your life's work and what it is that you revolve yourself around. So, long story short, my name is Tiffany Lachelle Williams. I am a native of Jacksonville, Florida. I am the oldest daughter of Darlene and Lee. And they had 3 girls. So I am the oldest of 3 girls. I grew up in of course, Jacksonville, Florida school system. Went on to Tallahassee, Florida to obtain my bachelor's and my master's subsequently later on down the line. Got my bachelor's and my master's from Florida State University. And then later on, of course, I decided that I was going to go back to school and get a doctorate. And I ended up doing my doctorate online through Nova Southeastern University, which is a private school in South Florida. So you can say I am Dr. Tiffany L. Williams, but for the purposes of this platform, I'm just Tiffany, y'all. I am just Tiffany. I have various parts of me, but I want Tiffany to come through on this platform. So that is kind of like a brief history or a brief background. But when it comes to my purpose, back in 2016, as a matter of fact, specifically November 15th of 2016, that is a date that will forever resonate with me. I gave birth to a beautiful, wonderful, precious angel by the name of Liam Elijah Wesley Boatwright. And my baby boy passed away. He was stillborn. And he forever changed my life. Forever changed my life. And as an angel mother, I subscribe to being an angel mother. As an angel mother, my purpose is to shed light on what it is and what it's like, the life of an angel mother, what it is like to experience a loss, what it is like to experience miscarriage, what it is like to be an invisible mom, what it is like to deal with the grief and the pain of loss, what that is like. And so, with that being stated, after my son was born, God spoke to me in a very clear and present voice that I would need to start an organization by the name of Liam Lives Foundation, and that organization would help others in the Jacksonville area and beyond and abroad who have experienced pregnancy loss and infant death. So that is my purpose. That is now what I do. I am also a licensed clinical social worker, and I provide mental health services through my private practice, Masterpiece Counseling Services, helping you be the master of your peace. And when I am not advocating, when I am not running my business, when I am not being an angel mom, when I am not doing work for Liam Lives Foundation, being a sister and engaging with my family and my community, also as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the best sorority in the land. I am just out here being me, being me, helping others, reaching out to others. I am just, when I sit back and think about it, like I am all over the place, like really all over the place. Like your girl just be running and going. So yes, that is my purpose. That is who I am. That is what I bring to the table. That is my life. That is my story. Almost in a nutshell, In my former life, I was probably a comedian, because I know for sure that had I not gone the route that I did in life, I would probably have been a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, because in my youth, I was totally into the arts, acting, dancing. I can't sing a lick. I never played an instrument, but oh my gosh, I loved acting and dancing and writing. Writing was another thing that was something that I did and I love to do. But yes, had I not taken the route that I had taken in life, I would probably be a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, or I would be a talk show host. And although it's like, well, you say comedian, what about comedian? And people always tell me that I should have been a comedian. I think a talk show host is like a safe space to be, where you can express your feelings and be funny, but like not be judged for it, right? Because, child, the life of a comedian, oh my gosh. I don't know if I could be the one that, could be up there and try to make people laugh and people be sitting in the audience like, yeah, not me. So anyway, that is me, almost in a nutshell. And hopefully I'll be able to share more with you about me and who I am. And you'll get to know me and I'll get to know you as you continue to watch the channel. So let's get to it, right? Because we're almost in 10 minutes and my sister just texted me. I want to get my nieces tomorrow. And my sister just said, hey, yeah, come get them. So anyway, sorry for the distraction. All right. So today I wanted to talk about, of course, loss. I wanted to talk about that because, again, that is tied into my purpose and what I'm here for. And as I had shared with you guys, I experienced loss. My son was born at 20 weeks gestation. So he was 5 months to the day when he was born, meaning that I was 5 months pregnant when I gave birth to him. And it was a very, very, very trying situation. And I won't go into details tonight on this recording about, why that experience was so trying, but I'm going to tell you now, just for the sake of creating context, that it was extremely trying. It was a very trying pregnancy, a very trying situation, and of course an extremely profound loss. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And we say that. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. But this is true. I would not wish this type of pain, this type of feeling, this type of situation on my worst enemy. Only because I know, of course, firsthand how it feels and what it is that you actually go through when you experience the loss of a child that never took a breath, a child that never gazed into your eyes, a child that you never heard cry or coo or hear you call mom, hear you say, I can't even talk right now. As you can tell, my emotions are rising, but you never hear that child say mom or dad or mama or dada. It is extreme. It is an extremely profound pain that is quite indescribable, and of course, as you can see, causes you to be lost for words. So after experiencing the loss of my son, as I mentioned, God spoke to me and He said, in short words, Liam lives foundation, and that's what you're going to do, and you are going to help families who have experienced loss. You're going to help them to be able to seek solace. That basically you're going to help them to be able to do that. And so in my journey, I have learned so much, not only about myself, but I have learned quite a bit about pregnancy loss, infant death, miscarriage, infertility, the things that I had no clue about before when I was just out there living life. The things that I had no clue about before pregnancy, I am learning more and more about. And these are the things that I plan to, and will continuously I will be teaching the community about. So in this exploration learning phase in life, which I feel I am continuously in, and you should too, right? I have found that there is quite a bit of stigma surrounding women who are of mature age and do not have children. And this stigma lies with something obviously is wrong with this woman, or this woman can't get a man, or this woman, as I have heard of late, obviously must be gay. There's so much, she's broken, she's cursed. There are so many things that I have heard from a personal, cultural, perspective that lend to this idea that if a woman is of age, if a woman is in a mature age and she does not have children, then obviously that means something is wrong with her. So I myself, I am 37 years old, close to 38. And as of today, I only have one son who I do say is my son. But I obviously, depending on how I'm feeling, will say that, my son is deceased. So I only have one child, an invisible child, a child that obviously no one can see, no one is aware of unless you know me. And when I share this information with people, I do get mixed responses, but I would say the majority of the time, I get a response of bewilderment, of a puzzled response, a response of disbelief that had I not been in the space that I am mentally, had I not gone through 2+ years of therapy, would probably send me down the rabbit hole of despair, dysfunction, alcoholism, and probably drug use, okay? Because people tend to believe or think or have this notion that a woman of age who does not have children is somehow broken. Something is wrong with her. She got problems, issues. She can't keep a man, get a man. She gay. Something is wrong with her physically. Something is wrong with her mentally. Or she's an anomaly. She's a unicorn. And I am here to share with you, open up to you, advise you that this thought, this notion that we have has to stop. It has to stop. And the reason why is because these notions, these beliefs are rooted in judgment, one. Two, they perpetuate the stigma that if a woman doesn't have a child, she is less than. It perpetuates the stigma that if a woman does not have a child, she is broken. If a woman does not have a child, oh my God, she is out of time. She needs to hurry. She needs to rush to do things. That she has her priorities out of whack. She doesn't know what she's doing. She needs to get her life together. These are the things that it perpetuates. And when that is perpetuated, it puts women like myself in quite precarious situations mentally because, like I said, had I not been strong and rooted in what I know and also, knowing who I am and knowing myself for real, I would probably be in the nut house right now because after Liam passed away, I got things people would say things like, oh, well, you're young. You can have more. Or at least you can have children. It's as if that's a badge of honor or something. And I can't really think of some of the other things that were said to me, but I can think of other things that other people have told me that have been said to them, like, oh, well, you can have another one and name that child the name of the child that passed away, and silly stuff like that. It has to stop. It has to stop. We cannot continue to make women feel or make it seem as if a woman who does not have children is somehow inadequate. broken, deficient, not worthy. Something's wrong with her. She need to get her shit together. Like, that has to stop. So the reason why I bring this up is because I had a situation happen with me recently where I was sharing with someone, and I'm not going to go into details because I want to kind of protect the situation in itself, the person, and just how it happened. I just want to be able to share this information so that you as the viewers can vibe with what I'm saying and be able to share with others. But I was sharing my background, and in sharing my background, of course, I had shared that I didn't have any children. And excuse me, as I have grown past my son's untimely passing, which was in 2016, almost 4 years ago, I have learned to be able to take charge of my story. Be able to be in charge of the narrative that I want to create and present to others. That stated, I am in control of who I decide to share my business with and who I decide not to share my business with. How much I decide to share, when I decide to share it, and how I decide to share it, right? So there are times where I tell people I don't have no kids, and that's it. There are times where I tell people I do have a child, and that's it. There are times where I tell people I have a child and he's deceased. And that's it. Moving right along. It just depends on how I feel. And I don't feel guilty. I don't feel obligated to share any more or any less, depending on who I am before. It's just one of those things where I move with what I am comfortable with. And I am okay with that. But in this particular situation, I shared that I did not have any children. And the response that I got from that, which was a very knee-jerk, now that I reflect on it, was a very knee-jerk, reflexive type response. Almost automatic, like, well, how did that happen? Very off-putting. And just how I showed it was how it was presented before me, well, how did that happen? As if this is some type of Jeopardy question, or this is one of these game show questions, and I am up for a $1 million win if I'm able to answer this question appropriately. This is how this was like, and it almost felt like when the question was asked, there was this spotlight on me, like doom 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 doom. There was a spotlight on me to be able to answer this question appropriately, to be able to calm or quell the inquisitiveness of this person. And I won't even say inquisitiveness. I would just say the nosiness and the unmitigated gall of this individual who asked. And so initially, I didn't want to say anything. Initially, I just wanted to kind of curl up in a ball and disappear, right? Because there is a part of me who is Liam's mother, who still and will forever and always grieve Liam. And so that part of me responded initially to the question of, why do you fault me? Why do you blame me? Why do you question me? Why are you being so mean to me? Why do you ask this question? Does it really matter? Is it any of your business? Do you plan to help me? Are you going to make things better for me? This is the part of me that is asking all of these questions. And mind you, now this is happening within a split second. Rapid fire questions coming from this part of me. Liam's mother, that is just like annoyed, saddened, depressed over this question. Herein enters the settled part of me, the part of me that understands that these questions come about, understands that anytime this conversation comes up, there may be some folk that may not understand my dilemma, or not even my dilemma, just my disposition. That's the word I want to use. My disposition in life. And she comes in and she says, well, I do have a son, and he passed away almost 4 years ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's almost like when that response is given, like in this particular situation that I'm speaking of, the person kind of snapped out of it, like, oh shit, like, bam, bam, abort, like I crossed the boundary for real. But in my experience, when this has happened, there almost seems to be this self-satisfying, self-gratifying mission. And I may not be making sense, so I hope this comes across to where you understand what I'm saying. But it almost seems like when this question is asked of me, because it has been asked of me plenty of times before, that the question is quite self-serving. It is self-seeking. It is curious, right? People are curious. They're nosy. They want to know everything. But it's because there's something within them. This is just my thought, my opinion, okay? This is not gospel. This ain't research based on none of that. It's just, it almost seems like the question is quite self-serving, and it's one in which the question has to relieve something within them. The question has to quell something within them. I don't know if it's an anxiety. I don't know if it's a preconceived notion, whatever the case may be. It's quite self-driven. That's all I can say about that. And then when they recognize that the response that I have is one that's not in alignment with their preconceived notions, not in alignment with what it is they expect, not in alignment with what is already bothering them on the inside, right? Then it's like, oh shoot, I done messed up. Dang, why I said that? Why I went there? And then here comes the apologies. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry for your loss. Oh my gosh. That must be painful. Or you have the ones that are like, oh shoot, let me hurry up and switch the subject. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, my apologies. So, moving right along. How about those Jaguars? Yeah, it's like it's like y'all doing the most. Y'all are doing the most. So, I bring all of this up. I share all of this to come to this closing point. If you ever meet a seasoned, a mature, a woman of age, a grown-ass woman, if you ever meet one of these women and she does not have any children, do not, I repeat, do not ask her what's wrong with her because she does not have children. Do not ask her, how did that happen? Which was what was asked of me. How did that happen? Do not ask or do not remark, oh my gosh, you a unicorn? Do not remark, that's rare. Don't make those type of statements and remarks. They are rude. Okay? They continuously perpetuate this stigma or this notion that women without children are somehow defective, less than, have no value. Okay? And it's rude, it's hurtful. It's quite hurtful. And the thing is, what we don't know and understand, and I say we because again, I was at this point. Although I didn't make any of these comments to others, I'm just going to say at one point in time before my child's loss, I did not know these things. I was unaware. I was ignorant to these things. What we don't know is that women, battle infertility every day. There are women who are trying to get pregnant, who want to have children, but can't due to various, bodily functions, injuries, diagnoses, all of that. They are struggling. Let me tell you something. When you ask how many children you have, they want to be able to say they got 1, 2, 3, 5, 20. They want to be able to say this, but they can't because they're dealing with something. They're dealing with infertility. Listen, there are women out there who cannot and will not have children, biologically or physically, because they are dealing with certain bodily disorders and anomalies that do not provide for them to be able to have children. Okay? You have women that don't have uterus, don't have ovaries. Their fallopian tubes are blocked. Like it's quite impossible. Endometriosis, fibroids, things that impede in getting pregnant. Women are dealing with these types of ailments. And not only that, check this. It ain't just the women. How about the women who have husbands that have male factor infertility? Okay? Low sperm count. Sperm that has low motility, meaning they ain't swimming. So whereas they may be fine, their partner or their husband has issues. They can't have children. Or at least not as easily because of that. What about the women who, guess what, have decided, I don't want to be no mama. I don't want to raise no bad behind kids. I don't want to deal with no snotty-nosed children. And as a matter of fact, I just don't want to bring nobody, no other being or soul into this sick, tired, distrustful world. My nieces, my nephews are enough. My goddaughter, my godson is enough. Let me live this parenthood, motherhood thing vicariously through y'all. I just don't have the desire. What about that? What about the woman who is just being so extra mindful and intentional and careful about her body, with her body, that she is so one and in tune that she does not want to dismiss or disregard or disrespect her temple? She just don't have sex, y'all. She just don't open her legs. She don't. And when she does, she uses protection, which prevents her from not only, one, getting diseases, but two, having children. What about her? See, there are so many factors that come into play when you run into a woman, a seasoned woman, a mature woman who does not have a child. So many things that come into play. And they don't lend to something is wrong with her. Even the woman who does not have a womb, even the woman who does not have fallopian tubes, even the woman who is dealing with a birth defect that prevents her, there's nothing wrong with her. It does not take away her womanhood. It does not take away her motherhood. It does not take away her parenthood. And this has to stop. But it's because it is preventing women from actually, one, reaching out to others, getting help, seeking services, showing up in the world. It prevents her from showing up as her true self in this world, living her purpose in this world. All because you can't understand why she's 37 and don't have no children. We have to stop. We have to stop, y'all. So, I know I ranted quite a bit. I hope that what I'm sharing with you resonates with you. I hope it sits with you. If you are that woman that right now is having difficulty, I pray that, peace be with you. I pray that you have the right supports along this journey. I pray that you come to some type of resolve in your heart with whatever it is, whatever the end may be with your journey. I pray that resolve sits with you. To the woman who has had multiple miscarriages and continues to dream about having a child one day, I pray that that happens for you. To the woman who, has given up and says, you know what, this may not happen biologically, but you know what, my heart is open to another child that isn't biologically mine. And that motherhood looks like me adopting. My heart is with you. To the couple that is dealing with male factor infertility, you know what, my heart is with you. To that husband, to that male partner, my heart is with you. To the individual, to the woman who may never be a mom, my heart is with you. To those trying, my heart is with you. To those who don't want another or don't want one, my heart is with you too. It really is. To the ones that welcome in somebody else's child, to the ones that are, wrapping their arms around nieces and nephews and godchildren, my heart is with you. It truly is. And to those who have said some of those or made some of those comments, you know what? I don't blame you, because you didn't know. You didn't know. And I hope that you don't blame yourself because you didn't know. But now that you know, my hope is that you will take this information, you will let it resonate with you, you will let it sit in your heart, and that you will change, and that you will think about what it is that you're going to say the next time a seasoned, older, more mature woman comes before you and she says she doesn't have any children. I pray, I hope that you will keep your lips closed. Because honestly, this woman's motherhood is none of your business. And that if you keep your mouth closed, that woman will feel safe enough, right? Feel encouraged enough to confide in you as to why. Because it's all our choice. To share with you what our journey is about is our choice. So I hope that the ground that you lay for this person by keeping your mouth closed and not asking these questions will provide a safe space for that woman to share what it is that she's feeling, thinking, and what it is that she's experiencing. This is my hope, my prayer, my thought, my intention behind this entire video. I think that's it, y'all. I think I feel better now. And I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe. I hope that as I continue to, again, develop this this channel, that you will be with me along the way, that you will exercise patience with me in this process, and you will also, provide me with some insight, provide me with some ideas as I go along. So that is it for me, y'all. As they say, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all another night.